Alright guys, welcome back. Got another manga spotlights video for you guys today. I am Rayron VR, and today I actually want to do a little bit of a shout out. So again, if you guys recommend any manga to me, I will do my best to kind of point to the person who said it first, and then we'll try to highlight it. So with that, this one comes from Subhuman over on Twitter because I did a little picture of my collection and he said that the only thing missing is Goblin Slayer. So you know what? I grabbed myself volume 1 of Goblin Slayer and we're going to go ahead and check it out. So one thing I did forget to mention on my Bleach video is that Team Flip over on Twitter also recommended that I should do Bleach, and Bleach was definitely something that I've been wanting to do for a while. Was finally able to get that video out, but I've got another manga coming in that he recommended, and we'll talk about that when I do get it and review it. But with that, guys, let's go ahead and take a look at Goblin Slayer Volume 1. Let's go ahead and look at the back here. Alright, so we got a young priestess joins her first adventuring party, but almost immediately encounters the most unspeakable horrors. Rescued by an enigmatic warrior called Goblin Slayer, she partners with her savior on a mission to exterminate all goblins by any means necessary. When the rumors of the Goblin Slayer feats begin circulating, there's no telling who might come calling next. Alright, so this is by the Yin Press. This is definitely going to be the first mature manga that I have featured on this channel. Obviously, language, nudity, sex, and violence. And rightfully so. This is definitely a mature manga. So mature, in fact, that I cannot even open this manga up for you. Because there are so many pages in here that good old YouTube would definitely strike me down. So with that, I cannot really open this manga. I will talk about it as best as I can. But yeah, let's go ahead and dive right into it. So with that, we go into this particular world. It feels like a D&D type of world where we've got our priestess here who wants to be an adventurer. And so you do like what any other typical story adventure would do, and they will go find a guild to sign up for, so that way they can get the experience track, they can get their rank, and in this case, there are several ranks in here, gold being the highest, and if I remember correctly, platinum is another rank. I can't remember the lowest rank that she starts off with on top of my head, but anyways, you've got basically dog tags that represent each rank of our adventurers, and we got our priestess here. And I don't think they named the priestess at this point. There's really no names besides one at the very end of the book. But it's interesting because we're introduced to all these characters, but I think it's really the first manga in volume 1 that really doesn't go into the names of these particular characters. Now, again, this is just volume 1. I'm not sure if we'll get names of these characters as we go along in the volumes. But as far as volume 1's concerned, they just call her the priestess, and we got this Goblin Slayer Knight individual. So with that, she registers for the guild and she becomes an adventurer essentially, and then she partners up with some other particular individuals that want to go out and go against goblins. Now this is kind of a little bit of a novice party. We have a male warrior, we have a female witch, and then we also have what I would call a female monk, but could be also a jujitsu character. I don't know. It wasn't really explicit. But what's interesting about it is that we kind of got a backstory of each one of the characters. But yeah, and one thing I did forget to say before I go a little bit more deeper into this is that I will be talking about spoilers. So sorry. Usually I say spoilers before I start this video, but anyways, spoilers. With that said, let's go ahead and continue. So with that, the party goes into this cave and they think they're going to have a very quick kills when it comes to goblins. But if any of you have read like really good storytelling when it comes to the high fantasy realms, goblins are tricky SOBs. And these particular goblins are definitely that. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this is a mature rating. When it comes to the goblins in this manga, they are vicious. Like, it is blood, gory. They are ravage. You want to talk about animalistic behaviors? That's where the sexuality comes into play. These goblins are vicious. Definitely the most evil portrayal I have seen in a while when it comes to goblins, and rightfully so. They are vicious. They are gory. They rip arms off of people, and some other. Let's just say if you have suffered PTSD, this manga may not be for you. But anyways, the goblins are definitely evil in this manga. And so our four um, adventurers find out the hard way that these goblins are actually pretty smart. And I would even say that three of them are actually killed. It doesn't really go into like the writing aspect of it, saying that they were physically killed, but the images, my goodness, you want to talk about illustrations. Um, it is very well it's very well drawn that they are pretty much dead. That's how gory this manga is. And again, that's why it's mature for a reason, because of that violence. It is a very violent illustrations in this particular manga, which, to be honest, call me crazy, it's kind of nice to see, because we've gotten so much into a PC world lately that, sometimes you just want a good gory fight. And this manga definitely delivers on that. So we continue on, and basically, just when our priestess is about to get killed, we got our main protagonist, which is our Goblin Slayer knight here, to my understanding, his rank is silver. When you see the silver on the dog tags, and so these two practically team up, and with his experience, guidance, and leadership, was able to guide our damsel in distress out of the Goblin Cave. And so, as we go through the story here, we see a little bit more of the backstory on how the Goblin Slayer kind of grew up and why he's so vicious against goblins. We get to see a little bit of world building, which is pretty cool. We get to see how these particular quests are created, which I think that is very unique when I read the stories, because when it comes to like these D&D style storytelling and world building, our heroes just find a quest and go on with the quest and so forth. Never have I seen that, hey, this person needs some help. Let's create a quest to do that. I think the only thing that really came close to that was Fairy Tail, but I haven't seen it done anywhere else. So we get to see that there's a lot of goblin quests, and there's particular individuals that don't have that much money in order to do these quests. And so, a lot of these other adventurers look down upon it because they don't pay well. It is kind of grindy, but our main protagonist here accepts those quests, and hence, the manga name Goblin Slayer. As we continue to go on, we see our Goblin Slayer and our priestess start to use tactics. Our priestess has leveled up a little bit with skills and ability, and we start to see them start to build the chemistry of a good team. And we see them, again, very gory, very detailed graphics when it comes to slaying these goblins and the blood that comes associated with that, and just tearing them apart. Like I said, it is very graphic, very gory, and I think that's why so many people like this, because it's a different tone when it comes to storytelling. It is like, no joke, these goblins are vicious, and when it comes to the aspect of illustrating the killness of this particular manga and the panels associated with it, this does a heck of a job portraying just how vicious these fights are, and it feels very realistic when it comes to the combat style. It's exactly what I would imagine if you were slaying a goblin in real life. That's just how good and gory the illustrations are. And so we see them take on another quest, and they defeat the main, I think it was a goblin, oh man, I think it was a troll they were going after, or a shaman, I think it was a shaman that they were going after. And again, they were able to succeed in their quest, and they continue on. And then by the end of it, we're introduced to a new character called Orc Blog, a female elf. And that is where it ends. And that's pretty much one of the main named characters. So yeah, it's definitely an interesting manga. Definitely the first mature one that I reviewed. And like I said, guys, I can't open this manga. When it comes to mature rating, that's just going to be my rule in the channel because, I don't want to get it struck down. I'll do my best to describe the contents. But again, it is mature for language, nudity, sexual, and violence. So keep that in mind if you want to pick up Goblin Slayer. That this is not for the faint of heart. There are definitely some adult themes when it comes to this manga. It definitely portrays the evilness of goblins, and it is vicious. It is gory, it is graphic, and to be honest, it's a nice change to see that type of stuff. That we have a medium and a platform that will allow this type of storytelling. So highly recommend it if, again, adults, definitely adults only when it comes to this manga, because, again, there's a lot of strong themes in this particular manga that I can't unfortunately say on YouTube, because I know what the word is, but I can't really talk about it because of good old YouTube. So if you want to talk more about it, feel free to email me or shoot me an IM on Twitter, and I can talk about more of why it is rated mature. So with that, guys, that is my review of Goblin Slayer. I enjoyed it. It is definitely gory. I can't say that enough. It is just a nice breath of fresh air from all the PC that's out there. So with that, guys, I definitely recommend it. And that is Goblin Slayer Volume 1. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you guys for watching. Again, if you have any recommendations for any manga I should review, feel free to leave a comment or send me a message on Twitter, and I'll try to get it out for you guys. So with that, guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you on the next one.